Hi everyone! In today's episode, monsters are rising, secrets are exposed, and the battle of a lifetime begins. But before we start, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Don't miss a second. The episode starts with Lou calls Gina and tells her that someone admired her art and paid for 3 pieces, even though he knows they are not ready yet, but he's fine waiting. He wants to meet her to discuss this art, and she goes to meet him, surprised that he wants to meet her in the cemetery. The person turns out to be Yan2, who tells her, I've read some comments on your work, and the audience thinks your art expresses feelings of suffocation, chain, and imprisonment, conveying somewhat negative emotions, and says, every time I come here I don't feel death or fear. I consider it the start of a new life like birth, which is painful for the mother, but a beautiful beginning. He tells her he truly appreciates her art, and she says to him, in others' eyes you are a man who has everything, the son of a rich family, but since you like my work, you must feel suffocation, imprisonment, and all these negative emotions, not just as you're trying to explain while standing in front of me right now. And to surprise, they are understanding each other so well despite not meeting much. He apologizes for his crazy actions before and says he wants to show her art and won't bother her again. He takes her to his mother's tomb and tells her that Lynn killed his mother, took her name, and now runs the Roshan group, living a luxurious life on his mother's ruin. He recalls when he was a child. On his birthday, his father came home with Shuang, bringing her to help his mother in the house because she was pregnant and would stay with them. Considering her family, her mother saw her with her husband and son as if she was literally taking her place. Then his mother died. Yan2 cried much, and Shuang asked him to call her Lin like his mother from then on. Shuang became the lady of the house, and he considered her family until he read his mother's diaries. Xiao says, why are you telling me this? And he replies, Lin is the one who sent Goyan to the orphanage, and if he is really Xiao, then Lin must have the secret of turning Xiao into a human form. And he continues, what should I do to avenge my mother? Since you are against Xiao, cooperating with me is a rare chance. Then she takes him to the temple and answers his questions, telling him what happened back then, about the appearance of strange creatures that fear light and eat flesh. After the meteor fell on Nanshan land and people called these monsters Xiao. The Xiao are fierce and kill people mercilessly. Then the emperor sent an army to fight the Xiao and drive them back underground. Those soldiers, called themselves Nanshan hunters, became enemies of the Xiao, and that continues to this day. He says, what are you telling could make a novel? And she says, believe or not, as you like. She tells him that when someone gets infected with the Xiao, after a while, a membranous layer appears on the wound called rooting and growth, relating to the wild Xiao, but human Xiao is completely different. He realizes that she and the people who captured him are all Nanshan hunters, and thanks her for answering, and she leaves. Then Sun wakes up, finding himself locked up and tries to get out, but Kwang won't open for him, saying that he has a contagious disease that need isolation treatment. But Sun says, this isn't a hospital. I'll go treat myself in a hospital. And Kwang said that his disease needs sun to heal. Then we know that the Xiao wound must be treated with sun within 3 days, or no one can save him if the time passes. Then the hunters team in the hospital watches Hua Saozi from afar and cause noise, so the nurse comes and makes them leave, but the lame father stays. Then Ling goes to her brother's place, brings him food, and CG is with her, but Yan2 sends her away. He says to Ling, you might not believe it, but I wanna tell you. Do you remember when Xiongha, who lost 2 fingers once, his whole body was wounded and he said that he fell from the motorcycle, but he healed in a few days? She says, at that time Lin said that he went to the hospital and they reattached his fingers. And he replies, think about it, is that logical? Like Goyan, I saw him fall from the top floor right before my eyes with severe injuries, but in half a day his wounds started healing. She asked what he means and he tells her what he knows about the Xiao. She plays the recording of Lin and Xiongha's call, revealing the rescue effort to transfer the blood core to the orphanage. He also hears the sound of things shaking from that moment, but Yantu and Lin can't figure out what it is, only realizing later that Lin, Xiongha, and Goyan are the Xiao. Xiongha then disguises himself as a doctor, sneaks into Hua Xiao's hospital room, and injects the lame father before kidnapping him. Xiang tries to stop him, but Xiongha overpowers him and escapes just as the security arrives. Ling monitors Lin and she organizes the files and enters the room, filming the whole process. Lao Lu teases Jiu about the new design, calling it ugly and asking how it called. So she reminds him, I handle art, you handle sales. It's your job, no excuses. He laughs and says, you know, I can see it looking better now, and leaves. Then Jiu gets a call from the Nanshan hunters informing her about what happened. She rushes out, telling Lao Lu to call Yan to meet her. At that time, Yan Tu sits with her sister, reviewing the file she filmed. She recalls their childhood on the farm, how Yan Tu searched for her after she fell into an underground bed. They saw Ling carrying someone in a stretcher, the body drenched in blood. When they went to see the person, they got scared and Ling screamed. They realized Lin made this place a secret base to turn the Xiao into humans. Despite Ling's pleas to stop, Yan Tu refused. Then Lao Lu sends him a record saying that Ji wants to meet him. He meets her at a modest restaurant and asks, didn't we settle everything? Why are we meeting again? She replies, my friend was kidnapped by your men. I wanna know where he is. He agrees and they strike a deal, a favor for a favor. The next day, Yan Tu brings Lin food from a new restaurant. During their work discussion, Yan Tu mentioned that he heard Xiongha kidnapped someone. Lin responds, I know you wanna help, but there are things you shouldn't interfere in. She adds that she plans to stop by the farm before heading to the company, and Yan Tu remarked that she still prefers to handle the farming herself. Xiongha presses the lame father for information about the hunters, but he stays silent. Lin appears coldly, reminding him that she nearly caused his leg to be amputated 20 years ago. Xiongha injects him again. At the farm, Yan Tu overhears Xiongha cautioning Lin not to trust his cheerful appearance. Lin insists they will keep up the act of a loving mother and obedient son, and declares that Yan Tu is her real son no matter what, and orders Xiongha keep interrogating the old man and says we must uncover everything about the med blade. Then Yan Tu opens a secret door and finding the lame father delirious, shouting and warning that the mad blade will destroy them all. An alarm suddenly sounds. He rushes out to find Xiongha, who claims it's a safety warning for toxic chemical spraying. As the chemical spraying begins, Xiongha puts on a respirator. Yan Tu faces him, his voice shaking. I'm supposed to be the group leader, yet you know far more than I do. You have kept me on the outside. You are hiding something from me. Since the day I met Lin, she hasn't aged at all, and your body was covered in severe injuries, yet you healed within 2 days. He pauses, struggling to breathe. I don't care what the truth is. If all of this is to protect me, but I'm not a child anymore. I'm not a stupid family too. And Yan Tu can't breathe. Just before he collapses, Xiongha forces the respirator onto him. Then we know that Lin deliberately mentioned the farm to lure him in. Xiongha reveals he is just curious and wants to fit in. When he sees he doesn't belong, he has two options: integrate honestly or leave. And if he leaves, we will get rid of him, since he is not the blood core. Uncle Jiang reveals a message designed to all Nanshan hunters and spark a new war against the Xiao. Then Yan Tu meets Jiu to ask about the meaning of the med blade. She says it's mean retiring from the field, leaving the best behind. He tells her that if she doesn't want to answer, it's okay, but he wants her to know that they are interested in the med blade. He also informs her about the lame father. He's not fully conscious, but his mouth has been tightly sealed. He confirms the med blade is a real person and shares the lame father's warning and says, "This is your trump card against the Xiao." Then Kwang meets Jiu to inform her about the upcoming battle against the Xiao. She replies, "I promised Uncle Jiang I would be there," and he leaves. He recalled training on a childhood holiday to heighten his sense of smell Qiandan. She doubts it, but he explains that tracker dogs rely on smell, so sacrificing other senses to strengthen it is worthwhile. That training lets him detect the Xiao from miles away, though it weakens his daytime vision. Dilated pupils may occur, but night vision is untouched. He decides to accept the cost for the gain. We're back in the present, in that room, facing the strange creature, probably the Xiao in his monstrous form. Kwang asks low and sharp, "What would you do if someone close to you slowly became stranger, someone you no longer understand, turn away or face them?" His words hit Jiu, anger at her distance, but also the thrill of fighting together in the same battle. Then Yan-Tu spots Xiongha and follows him, while the Nanshan hunters ready their weapons. The battle is about to begin. In the forest, Xiongha's men hang the lame father on a tree. Yan-Tu hides in the shadow watching every move, while the Nanshan hunters take their positions in the battlefield. Jiu perches high above, eye sharp and ready. The battle erupts, but suddenly a wild Xiao appears. Kwang holds something that emits a sound everyone can hear, but it painfully affects the Xiao. Xiongha strikes him, the noise hurts the creature, and Xiongha chucks Kwang while the wild Xiao lunges toward him. Out of nowhere, Jiu leaps into the fray and attacking the beast. So, our recap ends here, that the Xiao strike without warning. Can anyone survive? Comment below what you think will happen next, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell for more. See you in the next recap. Goodbye.